Another age-old question. This one's been around for since the 1940s. Is this whole notion that one way to increase organizational efficiency is to quote unquote flatten the hierarchy. Have you heard of this? Mm-hmm. Basically, it's to reduce the number of hierarchical layers between you and the CEO. So it's better to have 2 or 3 layers instead of 10 or 12, because things go up and down. The chain of command slows things down, leads to tons of bureaucracy. So flattening the organization is like this. Even today, it's still this management mantra. You've got to make it flat. You've got to make it flat, or you're not going to be efficient.
Do you have an example of that? Like the bad version and the good version.
The bad version. So the bad version is that you have an idea, you give it to your boss, and they've got to have a meeting with their boss to talk about your idea before they can approve it. If there's 6 or 7 layers, if it's an important issue, especially if there's 6 or 7 layers between you and the CEO, after your boss and his boss or her boss have this meeting, then that next person decides, well, yeah, this is a good idea. Let me meet with my boss. So they have another meeting. The boss thinks it's a good or bad idea or important enough that they should have a meeting with their boss. So you do this iteration. It goes all the way up the chain of command to whomever, and then it's got to go all the way, that message got to be delivered all the way back down. Mm-hmm. But if there's only 2 layers, say you have a meeting with your boss and there's only the CEO above them, that can occur much faster. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So flatten the organization, flatten. The problem is that there's another management principle or concept or whatever you want to call it that says that limiting a manager's span of control is a great way to, prevent organizational inefficiencies. Basically, it keeps, you want to keep managers from spreading themselves too thin. If I've got 6 subordinates or 6 people reporting to me, that's easier to handle than, say, 20. Now, that can be different for every manager, and depending on what industry you're in, that can vary widely. But nonetheless, you don't want to overload people because they get stressed out, they have too much on their plate, and they can't effectively manage. Make sense so far?
Yes. But how do you grow a company? So then I go from 10 employees to 100. I need then 10 managers.
Right.
I need more.
Exactly.
Then I need vice presidents. Then I need HR. So
exactly.
I'm screwed.
So you can't flatten an organization without increasing the average manager's span of control. These two are fundamentally inconsistent with each other.
Right.
And this was identified by Herbert Simon back in the 1940s, and nobody's figured it out.
Have you figured it out?
Yes.
Good.